this is Amiral Haq and welcome to the third part of our Python workshop. You have already understood what a programming language is, and I hope you are clear with the basic concepts like variables, strings, integers, and etc. So let's explore some other fundamental things in Python. First of all, arithmetic operation. The first thing is addition, and it is represented by the sign plus. And for example, 4 plus 7 is equal to 11. So when you type 4 plus 7 in Python, it will be returning the value 11. And the next one is subtraction, and that is represented by the sign minus. And so like for example, 12 minus 5 will return the value 7. And the next one is multiplication, and it is represented by the sign star. Just remember that it's a star, not any x, or it's not like a cross sign, it's a star. So the value like 6 star 6 will return 36. And the next operation is division, and it's represented by the slash. So 30 slash 5 will return 6. So like it can be anything, it can be integer, it can be even a if this is not divisible entirely, so the result will be a decimal. And the another one is modulus. Maybe it may be a new operation for you. So anyway, it's represented by the sign percentage. And for example, it is 10 percentage 4 will return 2. So basically modulus means the remainder after division. So 10 modulus 4 means like 4 into 2 is 8. Okay, so the remainder will be 2, so that it will return the value 2. And the another operation is quotient operation, and is represented with the sign double slash. By quotient we mean how much times the 5 will be there in 18, or like after the division what is the integer value that we will be getting. So 18 slash 5 will return the value 3, because we know 5 into 3 is 15. Okay, so that's the thing. But if we are doing the same thing using the division operator, that is just 18 slash single slash 5, it will be returning the value 3.6. okay, but here we just get the value 3 only. Okay, and next operation is the exponent operation, and it is represented by the sign double star. And instead of like raised to, we know 2 raised to 2 or 2 raised to 3, instead that for the raised thing we use the sign double star. So it for example 3 raised to 5 is represented by 3 star star 5, and that will return the value 243. okay, so that is arithmetic operation. I hope you all understood it. Now let's do a task, and the problem statement is convert Celsius to Fahrenheit. Okay, and we know the equation F is equal to 9 by 5 C plus 32. So basically we have to provide the input, the Celsius value, to the Python program, and we have to multiply that with 9 by 5 and add 32 and print the value, the Fahrenheit value. Okay, so let's go to Google Colab. I hope you are already familiar with it. So I have opened my Colab notebook, and you can open yours as well, and you can code along with me. If needed, you can pause the video. So first of all, we have to receive the input, the Celsius value, from the user. So for that we have to define a variable. I am giving the name C, that representing the Celsius. So C is equal to input of the string that has to be displayed to the user. So I am writing enter Celsius value. Okay, so the input function receives a value from the user, and that will be by default, that will be a string. So we cannot do any arithmetic operation with the string, so we have to convert it to a number, whether it be a decimal or like that is float or an integer. So we know that Fahrenheit or Celsius will be a decimal, not always an integer. So we are converting the string to a float value, means a decimal. Okay, and after that we are writing the equation, and for Fahrenheit I represent it with the letter F. So F is equal to 9 by 5 and then into C plus 32. Okay, so this is the equation that we already know, and then we have to print the Fahrenheit value. So also while printing we can write a string like what is to be displayed. So I am writing Fahrenheit. Okay, and then separated by a comma you can give the variable name F. So it will be printing Fahrenheit and the value of F. Okay, so just run it and check the value. Okay, so they are asking for the Celsius from the user, so let me give just 35 and enter. So it is displaying 95. Fahrenheit is 95. Okay, so that's it. So we have completed the task 1. So in the previous video you have already come across some data types like string, integer, float and all. So Boolean is another type of data in Python, and like any other data type, it can contain two values like true or false, and it is mainly used in conditional statements and loop, and we will be discussing this in the upcoming slides. So for example, if the cat is dead, we would be writing it like dead. Here the dead is a variable name, so we are storing a true. We are writing dead is equal to true, means true is assigned to the variable dead. Okay, so true is a Boolean value, and if cat is alive we would write dead is equal to false. That means dead, the variable dead is assigned the value false. So whenever we call this variable, it will be displaying whatever value that we have given to it, like true or false. And now logical operators, and these are operations done on Boolean, and basically there are three types of operators, namely not, and or. Okay, and the next one is comparison operators, and these are used to compare between different values, and there are 6 different types of comparison operators. One is less than and less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, equivalent to and not equivalent to. So we will see some examples in Google Colab. So first of all, let us discuss the comparison operators, and let me take the first one like greater than. For example, 3 greater than 6. Okay, for executing this command the shortcut key is control plus enter. Yeah, so it's displaying false, means we know this is a Boolean value. Okay, so 3 greater than 6 is a wrong statement, so the output is a Boolean false. And or like if we write 6 is greater than 3 and execute the command, yeah, it is printing true. Okay, so this is another Boolean value. And if it is like 6 is equal to 6 and just run it, yeah, we're getting true. So equal to means basically the equal itself, because we know like the equal sign is given for assigning a value to a variable. For example, like a is equal to 6. So for this purpose we are already using the equal sign. So for the equivalent thing we are using the double equal sign. Okay, so 6 is equal to 6, we know that is a correct statement, so the it will print the Boolean value true. Or like if 6 is equal to 5, we know that's a wrong statement. Let's execute it, and we know it is printing false. Okay, so this is what and similarly the other comparison operators. And now let us discuss about the logic operators like and. We know like and is a logical operator, it will be printing true if both the statements are true, and it will be printing false if either one is false. So let me show you, like 6 is greater than 3, we know that's a correct statement. And just type and 7 is greater than 3. So we know both are correct statements, so it should be printing true. Let's run it. Yeah, so that's true. And just for illustration, just we make the second statement like 6 is greater than 7. We know that's a wrong statement, so while executing it is printing false. So this is what is AND statement, like AND logical operator. And instead we can use OR logical operator and just print it, execute it. Yeah, so we are getting true because the first is true, second is false. But since we have used the OR logical operator, it has printed true. And the third logical operator is NOT, means not 6 is greater than 3. We know 6 is greater than 3 is a correct statement, and not of that correct statement will be a false, right? So let us run it. Yeah, so it is giving false. So that's it. So next we have a task, and the problem statement is check whether a number is greater than 10 and less than 100. Okay, so from the question itself it is obvious that there is an and we have to check whether it is greater than 10 and less than 100. So two comparison operation is there. Okay, and we have to receive the input from the user. So let's go to Google Colab. So I have to receive a number from the user. So for that I am giving an input function. I am writing the variable as num is equal to input enter a number. Okay, and then as I said, by default it will be a string, so we have to convert it into a number. So for that, number is equal to integer of number. Okay, and then we have to check whether it is greater than 10. So for that, num is greater than 10, and the other condition is num is less than 100. So that's it. Just run it, and they're asking for the number. Let me type like 44. So true. That means both these operations are correct. That implies that the number entered 44 is greater than 10 and less than 100. And let me try another value. Maybe just a 5. So it is displaying false. It means it does not obey the two conditions. Okay, so that's it. So let us now discuss about some special data types in Python. The first one is list. So list is a special variable which can hold more than one value at a time. So as shown in the example, values is equal to, and the list is represented by a square bracket within which we write all the elements separated by comma. So it can be a string or an integer or a float or anything. Okay, so in this example, values is equal to, in the square bracket, high, then 1 2 3, and okay. So there are 5 elements in the list, and some of the properties of the list is, one is ordered, or by the term ordered we mean each element is having a position, or like it is indexed. In Python, list is 0 indexed, which means the first element is, the index of first element is 0, the index of second element is 1, and so on. Okay, and the other property is changeable. That means once the list is created, we can further, like we can add some elements, we can remove some elements, and we can even replace the elements. So that is what is meant by changeable. And the other property is like it allows duplicate members. By that we mean we can have the same string more than one time, or the same number more than one time. So in this example we can have the number 1 three times or 4 times, or as we wish. Okay, so that's it. And from the table given below, it's more clear that the first element high. Okay, so the element place is first, but the index value is 0. Okay, and for as we said, a list is a collection of variables. So maybe at some times we have to call some elements within the list. So for that we use the notation like values. We write the name of the list, and in the square bracket we write the index value. So for getting the first element, we just write values in the square bracket 0, and for the second element values square bracket 1, and so on. Okay, so now let us discuss some methods or like the functions related to the list. So first of all, we have to define a list, or like we have to create a list. For that we write the name of the list, and then equal to, in the square bracket we will be writing all the elements that has to be included in the list. So in this case, Suzuki, Toyota and Hyundai. Okay, so we have declared, or we have already created a list. And as I said, a list is changeable, so we can add elements or we can remove elements, so we can do anything. Okay, so the next one is we need to add an element Tata. Okay, the name Tata to this list cars. So for that we use the function append. Okay, so cars, or the method append. So cars dot append Tata. Okay, so that will be adding Tata to this list. So let us just check it, print cards. Okay, so yes, as we expected, the list has printed like Suzuki, Toyota and Hyundai, and the Tata has been included in the list. Okay, so that's the first method. And the second method is like for removing. For as I said, it's changeable, and so we can remove some elements from the list. For that we have two methods. One is by writing the value itself. Okay, so for that we should know that such an element is existing in the list. So we have to remove the element, specifically Toyota. So for that we will use the function remove. So cars dot remove, and the name of the variable or the element that we have to remove, so that is Toyota. So cars dot remove, Toyota will remove that element. Just check it. Yeah, so Toyota is removed, so the remaining elements are just Suzuki, Hyundai and the Tata. Okay, and as I said, there is two method, and the second method is pop. Like by pop we are deleting the element by the index, means like the zeroth index value or the first index value in such a way. So cars dot pop 0, so it will be removing the first element of the list. Okay, so just check that for we can expect that Suzuki will be removed. Okay, just yeah, so Suzuki is removed, and the remaining elements are Hyundai and Tata. Okay, and length is another function. Len, that's a common function, and it is used in different data types. Okay, so for getting the length of that data type, in this case for the list it will be printing the number of elements in the list. So let us just check. So the latest list is Hyundai and the Tata. Okay, so it should be printing 2. Yeah, so it has printed the value 2. And now, as I said, like we can access the elements in the list by writing the name of the list, and in square bracket the index value. So cars 1 means it will be the second value, and that is Tata. Okay, so printing the cars 1. Yeah, so that it has printed the value Tata. Okay, so these are the methods related to the list. Okay, so the second data type is tuples, and as shown in the example, it is represented by parentheses. So it is written like values is equal to parentheses, then the elements are written by comma separation. Okay, so high 1 2 3 and okay, and then close it. So that is how a tuple is written. And similar to the list, this is also an ordered one, like the first is first and the second and so on. And but the difference is it is an unchangeable, means once tuple is defined or once tuple is created, then further elements cannot be added or elements cannot be removed or updated. Okay, and the another property is allows duplicate members, similar to the tuple, similar to the list itself, like you can have a single element more than one time. Okay, so that's it. And we may look at some methods in the Google Colab. Okay, so let us now discuss some methods on tuple. So first of all, we have to create a tuple, and for that here I have taken the name fruits. So fruits is equal to the tuple. In the tuple I have written apple, banana and cherry. Okay, so that is how we create a tuple. And then the one of the common function is the len function, so that will print the number of elements in the tuple. So print len of fruits, so that will be printing 3. Okay, and as we said, the tuple is unchangeable, so it does not have any other methods. Okay, and the second one is like accessing. We can how to access the each variable or the elements in the tuple. Similar to the list, we can write the tuple name, and in the square bracket you can denote the index value. So print fruits 1, that will be printing the second element. Okay, so yeah, so it has printed the value banana, and that is the second element of the list, I mean the tuple. Okay, and as I said, it is unchangeable, and we don't know, we cannot add an element or remove, or like we cannot edit it. So but there is a way we can edit the tuple. It is by converting the tuple to a list and then editing the list as we discussed before by using the different methods, and then we can again change that to a tuple. So for that I have defined a tuple x is equal to apple, banana, cherry. Okay, so for converting a tuple into a list, we just use the inbuilt function list. So y is equal to list of x, that will be converting the x, that is the tuple, to a list, and that is given to the variable y. Okay, and then print y means we can see to see the list. Okay, and then y of 1 is given the value kiwi. That is y of 1 means we are updating the first index value, that is the second element of the list, with the element kiwi. Okay, and then again further we are converting the list back into a tuple using the function tuple, that is like x is equal to tuple of y, so that will convert the list back into a tuple. Okay, then we are printing the x, means the tuple that we have obtained at the last. Okay, let me run it. Yeah, so first is the print statement y. So this is the list that we have got after converting to a list, and then the final after updating we have printed the x again, so that is a tuple. So in the last in the final tuple we have replaced the banana with the kiwi. So the third data type is a dictionary. So dictionary are used to store data values in the format key semicolon value. Okay, so there will be a key, and then for each key we will be assigning a value. So in this format we will be storing a number of data in the dictionary, and as shown in the example, dictionary is represented by these curly brackets, and in the curly brackets we just enter the key value pairs by comma separation. Okay, so for example here car is equal to, the first element is brand Ford, means the brand is the key value and the Ford is the value assigned to the key, and model is the key and the Mustang is the value, and year is the key and the 1964 is the value assigned to the year. Okay, so the properties are like unordered, unlike the tuple and list, this is an unordered one. That means it doesn't matter like where we write the element, whether it is in the second position or the first position, so that does not matter, because we are calling the value by the key. In the list and tuples we were having the index values like 0, 1, 2, 3, and we were calling the elements by this index value, right? But here we don't have an index value, we can write anywhere, like for example this brand can be written in the third position, that doesn't matter. So for getting the value Ford, we will just call the key corresponding to that. Okay, that's it. That is like instead of 0, 1, 2, 3 we are having some name, some strings instead of that. And similar to the top list, this is a changeable one. That means once a dictionary is created, we can update or delete or add anything to the dictionary. And but the another property is like no duplicate keys. The key cannot be repeated. Okay, so once the brand key is used, then we cannot use the same key again and again. So one key can be used only one time. Okay, so that's it. So let us see some of the methods related to dictionary in the Google Colab. Okay, so let us discuss some of the methods related to the dictionary. First of all, as usual, we have to declare or create the dictionary. So for that, I have chosen the name car as the dictionary name, and in the curly bracket, I have written the brand is Ford and the model is Mustang and the year is 1964. Okay, so that is our dictionary, and now we have to access the some of the values in the dictionary. For that, we just write the print car. So here the car is a dictionary name, and in the square bracket we write the key. So instead of 0 1 2 3, we just write the name of the key, and so we will get the value printed. Okay, so that's it. And as usual, the common function len is applied here also, so we will be getting the number of elements. So let us just check it. Yeah, so the brand value is printed. What is the brand value? That is Ford. So the Ford is printed, and the length, that is 3 elements are present, so 3 is printed. Okay, so that's it. And the second method is we can add a new element to the dictionary by this syntax, like the dictionary name car, in the square bracket the key, the new key value. You can see brand, model and year, right? So color, this is a new key value that is not present in the dictionary, so you can give any key value. So just car, the new key value is equal to white. So white is the new value that is to be assigned to the new key value. Okay, and then print it. So it will be having a new element, that is the fourth element is color is white. Okay, so that is how we will add an element to a dictionary. And like updating, for updating we can use the current key, anyone like brand, model or year, the present key value, and then just to give the new value that you have to update. Or like for example here, like year is 1964, so you have to change this 1964. So for that, just write the dictionary name and the key that you have to update, so that year is equal to 2021, and then when printing, yeah, so that has got updated. Brand and model are the same, but the year has changed, and that is now 2021, and the color is the remaining the same. Okay, and similar to the list, here also we are having a function or method called pop. In the pop, that is pop, the input value is the key, the name of the key. Okay, so for that, car dot pop model. In the list we have seen, we were giving the values like 0 1 2 3 in the pop, so it will be deleting the 0 index value or the first index value. Similarly here, the model will be deleted. Just we can try. Yeah, so brand is there, year is there, color is the present, but the model has been removed from the dictionary. Okay, so that this is some of the methods that is related to dictionary. And next important thing in Python is if elif statements. Okay, so from the flow chart you can better understand what exactly if elif statement is. So first we will write an expression like some conditions, and then if that condition is satisfied, like if the output is yes, if that is correct, then it will execute a statement. Okay, if that is no, like if the condition is false, then it will check this next condition. If that condition is correct, then it will execute a set of statements. Okay, and then it will go out of the block. Or again, if the condition is wrong and the result is no, it will check a third, or like the next expression or the next condition. And if again, if it is correct, then it will be printing a statement. And like we can have any number of expressions in this way. Okay, so this is called if this is correct, then do this one. If this is not correct, that means it is else. Okay, so else, again, if there is a condition, it is called else if, that is called as elif. Okay, so elif, this is okay, then print a state, like not print, execute a set of statements. If this is wrong, then else. So else will be at the last, means there is no any other if statements. Else, like the last one, then print the statement and just get out of the body or the block. Okay, so this is the flow chart, and let us check some set of code line. So I have written like x equal to 3. So we have declared a variable and given a value x is equal to 3, and then I have written if x is equal to 2. So here for after if we have written a condition, that is x is equal to 2. So as we said, as we discussed before, that is a comparison operator. So we know x is a variable, and it does have a value. So we know that is a 3. So 3 is equal to 2, means we know that's a false, so it will be returning a Boolean value false. So that will not get executed. Okay, but just we can check what is the statement under if condition. The statement is print x is 2, means when x is this x value is 2 is equal to 2, then this will get executed. But since the x is 3, we know this is a false statement, so it will go to the next condition, and that is written as elif x is equal to 3. So the next condition is we are checking whether the x is equal to 3 or not. Okay, so we know that x is 3, so 3 is equal to 3, that is a correct statement. So this statement will get executed, that is print x is 3. So that the string x is equal to 3, x is 3, this string will get printed. Okay, and the last, if nothing, like if this goes wrong and if this condition is also wrong, then at last this will be printed anyway, that is else. Like under else we have a statement print x is not 2 or 3, because we know this is not correct and this is not correct, so that implies the x is not 2 or 3, some other values. Okay, so this is an example. Okay, so next we have a task, and the problem statement is find your grade from entered marks. Okay, so first of all we have to take input from the user, that is the mark, and then we have to compare it with some discrete values, and then we have to predict the grade. For example, if in the top 10, like from 90 to 100, that will be a certain grade, let it be A grade, and then 80 to 90 will be B grade, and so on. Okay, so for that we have to use comparison operators and all. So let us go to Google Colab and code there. Okay, so let us do the task, and by the time you can pause the video and you can do on your own, and then later check with the code that I have, that I will be writing. Okay, so I am using the variable mark. So mark is equal to input, the string is like enter marks. Okay, so in the previous code we were first taking the input and then converting it into float or integer, right? So this time I will show you another thing, like you can convert the input directly to float in a single line of code, that is like float of, then inside the float you can write the input enter marks. So once the input is taken, then it will be converted into a float, and then it will be assigned to the variable mark. Okay, so that's it. And now we have to compare. Okay, so if mark is greater than 90, and first of all, okay, if the user has inputted a mark greater than 100, we can say it is an error, right? So similarly we can write if mark is greater than 100, print the entered mark is wrong. Okay, and then elif mark is greater than 90, then we can print like print your grade is A. Okay, then again elif mark is greater than 80, print your grade is B. So I think that's enough for now. Then I am writing otherwise it is just F grade. Okay, else like I have classified like above 90 and above 80, and whatever the mark be like below 80, if it is below 80, then just print your grade is F. So that's it. Okay, and even you can write another condition like if it is below 0, like there is a possibility the user can input any number, right? So we have to accommodate all the possibilities. Okay, so for that we can write another condition or like that. Okay, so that's it for now. Let me run it. Yeah, so that it is asking for the marks. Let me enter 85. Okay, so the grade is B because the 85, right? So it is above 80, so the grade is B. Let me try once more, and let me enter like 120. Yeah, the entered mark is wrong. Okay, so that's it, how the if statements work. So that's it for this video. If you have any doubts, you can just comment below the video, and we will be here to help you out. Okay, thank you for watching the video.